Welcome to the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Thursday, May 5th. Over the last 1 to 2 weeks, we've seen storms continue to target the northern half of the Great Basin, and it has brought some well above normal precipitation over the last week to parts of Idaho and to Wyoming. Similar conditions over the last 2 weeks, again storm systems mainly targeting the northern half of the region, where we are seeing some above normal precipitation over the last 2 weeks as well in the north and over parts of northeast Nevada into northwest Utah and in parts of the Sierra. We did have some storms over a week ago that did bring some precipitation to southern areas, but over the last week, conditions have remained very dry over the southern areas of the Great Basin. New snowfall over the last 72 hours with the most recent storm. You can see some good amounts of snowfall, over 6 to 10 inches over parts of central Idaho, and then some lighter snowfall in pockets of heavier over southern areas of Idaho into northeast Nevada and northern Utah. The snow depth is shown on the right. We've seen the snowpack really dwindle over the southern half of the Great Basin, especially the southern half of the higher terrain of Utah, and certainly anything in southern Nevada. The snowpack now is well below normal, down to below 30% of normal over southern areas of the Great Basin, and is well below normal over western Nevada into the Sierra as well. With the storms targeting northern areas, the snowpack still remains near normal for the time of year over much of central Idaho into Wyoming. The satellite loop from this morning shows the ridge of high pressure moving across the Great Basin, with the most recent trough of low pressure off the west coast will continue pushing eastward into the region. We're looking at a very windy period over the next week, with more continuous periods of showers and clouds over northern areas of the Great Basin and still drier over southern areas, but really windy across much of the Great Basin over the next week. Looking at the weather pattern for later today, that trough moves in, bringing clouds and showers to northern areas of the Great Basin. We will again see lowering snow levels across Idaho for new snowfall to accumulate in the higher elevations. Further south, still dry conditions, but good dispersion region-wide with those gusty winds. Today, the strongest winds will be located across the Sierra Front into northwest Nevada and southwest Idaho, where we will see wind gusts above 40 miles per hour. Otherwise, breezy conditions will be further east, but certainly not as strong as what we'll see over the western areas of the Great Basin. Mixing heights will remain high across the region. As we move into Friday, this first impulse of low pressure moves up into the northern Rockies and Canada. We have yet another shortwave trough moving into the west coast, so continue breezy conditions and also continued clouds and some lighter showers over northern areas. Good ventilation index region-wide. Tomorrow, the strongest winds will still be located across the northern half of Nevada into the Sierra Front and Idaho and Wyoming, but wind speeds won't be quite as strong as what they'll be today, but likely gusts in the 30s to maybe around 40 miles per hour, and still good mixing heights. As we move into Saturday, we continue with that breezy westerly flow. We still will keep unsettled weather in the north, so still showery conditions across the northern areas of the Great Basin, with dry and breezy conditions further south, and good dispersion region-wide. On Saturday, the winds, however, really start to pick up. Across the Great Basin, we'll see widespread winds above 40 or 45 miles per hour. We also could see some gusts above 50 miles per hour over parts of the Arizona Strip and even into southeast Utah. We could see some elevated fire conditions or fire potential with the winds over parts of the Arizona Strip, just with how dry things have been and just with the strength of the winds and the low relative humidity. Mixing heights be very high region-wide. The forecast clearing index for Utah, no surprise that the clearing indices will continue increasing as those winds increase going into the weekend. Today we will see some lower conditions over parts of Utah with the lighter winds, but again that will quickly be changing over the next couple of days. Precipitation over the next few days, the larger precipitation amounts will be centralized to the central Idaho mountains. That's again where we will see some new snowfall, with generally lighter precipitation further south and east, but still very dry conditions over the southern half of the region. As we go into Sunday, we continue with that still gusty westerly flow as troughs of low pressure continue to drop south and impact the Great Basin. So we will continue with breezy conditions to windy at times, and then showers mainly located in the north. This will continue into Monday as that trough drops south, so good dispersion region-wide going through the next 7 days. As we move into Tuesday, again that trough drops further south. We will continue to see strong winds across the area with showers confined to the north, with a similar pattern continuing on Wednesday. Precipitation from Sunday through Tuesday, again confined to the northern half of the area, with the heavier amounts in central Idaho, but we will again see unsettled weather dropping into northern Utah, northern Nevada, and parts of the Sierra, So that certainly will keep a lid on any fire potential concerns in the north, but again, southern areas will remain dry and windy, so we will see elevated fire concerns and certainly more significant drying of the fuels. Currently, our fuel moistures are still well below normal for the time of year in the south, with ERCs above normal and even near record highs for the time of year in the south. And so that will continue with the warm, dry, windy weather. The 8 to 14-day outlook, taking us from May 12th through the 18th, shows cooler conditions as those troughs continue to move into the west coast, but we will continue with that dry trend and most likely windy over southern and western areas, and then a better chance of those showers continuing up north. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back on Monday for the latest updates.